What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. In this video, we're going to be talking about the major companies that could potentially double and triple within the next few months. I'm going to go over exactly what these companies are. I'm also doing a quick stock market recap, and we're going to go over some important companies that are going to be reporting earnings within this week. So make sure you stay tuned. Now let's get right into the video. Before we get into the video, I'll appreciate it if you can hit the like button. If you have any questions, any comments, make sure you drop in the comment section below. So as you can see over here, we have massive news that came out today concerning the COVID-19 vaccine. That resulted the stock market to significantly gap higher, and it hit all-time highs, but unfortunately started to sell off to the downside. And we also saw a lot of money flowing from these big tech companies, specifically the companies that are benefiting a lot from COVID lockdowns like Zoom and Netflix, and money flowing into the companies that were significantly beat down, like the travel sector and also hotels and etc. So as you can see over here, we have Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft. The majority of the big tech companies really take a hit today, and of course Netflix is also one of the companies that take a bigger hit. It's down negative 8.59%. As I mentioned, this is one of the COVID stocks that benefited a lot, but we also have Zoom stock that have been beaten down to the downside because now there seems to be a solution for the COVID virus, and that is going to be resolved pretty soon. The vaccine is still going to be taking more time for it to be available for the public. It might take even months, and it might take even a year. So we have to wait for the vaccine until summer 2021. So that's still a long time for it, but still, the stock market is taking into consideration that there's a solution for it, and a lot of investors are super excited. So the major companies that are going to be benefiting, of course, from this great and fantastic news, as we saw from this huge volatility that happened today, is that the major companies that have been beaten down, and these are the companies that are specifically associated with travel, resorts. And as you can see today, they're up significantly. At one point, they're up even 30-40%. And as you can see, we got Booking, Carnival Cruise up 29%, 24%, 26%. So we expect, these companies to have a continuation move to the upside for the next few months to come, depending upon how the vaccine news comes out again. Once they start to implement it, once they start to finalize the production and things like that, when more positive news comes out, these companies are definitely going to continue to trend higher, and money is going to slowly flow from the big, COVID stocks that we watch slowly to these companies. We still a long way, when you're considering it's going to be a few months. You never know what could potentially happen in the short term, because there's still cases that are spiking significantly within the US and also in Europe. Europe, there are some countries that have been doing that are going lockdowns, like Germany, France. Now the UK also have a temporary lockdown going on so far. So you never know, in the US that could potentially be happening. Of course, we might not know depending upon the number of people that are dying and being diagnosed with COVID-19. So we still have to wait. But the main thing that we need to focus on is going to be looking for long term, that these companies have potential to, to double, to triple, even to quadruple in a way. That there's some stocks that have been beaten down significantly. Like we saw like AMC today, like it was up like 70 to 80%, so that was a big move. It was trading around $2 and it went all the way above like to $4. And that's a lot. That's a huge percentage move for that specific company. Of course, they still have a lot of challenges to watch out for. If you decide to get involved in them, you have to watch out. In the short term, they might be a little bit of volatility because the case numbers are going to be spiking, and you might see sell-off happening. But if you're playing for the long-term game, these companies definitely have potential, to double, triple within the next few months for 2021, for the end of 2021. So these are the companies that we need to watch out for, specifically for the travel sector. We have, Booking, we got Carnival Cruise, Royal Caribbean, and we also have the resorts. We got these four companies. These are the Las Vegas casino companies. They're up, 27, 14, 9%. And these are the main companies that are going to be benefiting a lot for the vaccine. So the major companies that we need to be watching out for is that I covered it a few weeks ago when the president mentioned, Pfizer, J&J, and Moderna. These are the companies that are working on the COVID-19 vaccine. So they're up today. Pfizer's, of course, is the one that has announced the fantastic news about the vaccine. So they're going to be significantly trading higher too once they finalize the production of the vaccine. So they're up today 7.69%. J&J is also up 2.9%. So definitely keep an eye on these two companies from the healthcare sector, and we also have Moderna. That is going to be the one that I'm going to be watching out for. So tomorrow there's also going to be another company that is partnering, that's working with Vaccine 2 with Pfizer. We got ticker symbol btnc. They're going to be reporting earnings tomorrow too, and their stocks have been significantly gapping up to the upside too at the same time. So definitely keep an eye on these major companies in the short term if you want to participate in the market volatility and if you want to swing trade these companies. So now let's talk about the other companies that reported earnings. Yesterday we talked about WORKHORSE stock, that they're going to be announcing their earnings reports today, and the stock relatively traded higher. It's up 9.66%. That is really great to see that it was up. At one point it went to $20, and there's a lot of headlines that's coming out for WORKHORSE company. As you can see, the news has been pouring out. One of the latest news that came out is that WORKHORSE says 36% of plant workers impacted with COVID-19. So that is really, that's a lot. When you look at it, these are the people that are going to be working, producing the vehicles. And if they're not safe, if they're not healthy, that is definitely going to have an impact on the productions. And that is not good. And also when you look at the numbers, the earnings reports, that they're based on the revenue, and they still have a lot of great potential for the near future. That's what they've been talking about a lot. And their supply chains improved for 2021 also. That is really, really fantastic for them, since they're going to be planning to do mass production in the future. And their partnership with Lordstown Motor is also finalized, so that is really fantastic. And when you look at the USPS contracts, of course, a lot of people are waiting for that specific news. We just have to be waiting for that news to come out, but pretty soon, hopefully before the end of 2021. But the stock is recovering pretty well. It will hit $16 to $15. That was the area that we're watching for the company to find support, and it did find support at $15. We've been watching for this area for a while. This is the area the company's been consolidating in a bit, so it's back on this range. So we'll see what happens in the future as we get closer and closer to when they're going to be announcing the USPS contract, if they get it or not. So now let's talk about the other two companies that we're going to be watching out for that are going to be reporting earnings. Yesterday we talked about Rocket is also going to be reporting earnings for tomorrow. The expected mood for Rocket is approximately 13%, either to the upside or to the downside. Today it gapped up, but it sold off, as you can see. But tomorrow we'll see if there's going to be potential spike up that can happen due to earnings. So the expected move is $2.93, either to the upside to the downside. That's approximately 13%. So definitely keep an eye on Rocket. So another company also that we need to be watching out for is going to be JMIA, which is ticker symbol JMIA. This is a company that has been getting a lot of attention, but because it's called one of the stocks that are relatively similar to Amazon. This is the Amazon of Africa. It's down negative 15.57%, just like how Amazon and these major tech companies have been selling off to the downside. But tomorrow they have earnings reports, and their expected move is relatively close to above 10%. So expect the stock either to recover significantly or sell off to the downside. So, we saw that Amazon reported earnings. They had phenomenal numbers, and their guidance was also phenomenal, but the stock sold off due to earnings. The major companies specifically that are associated to COVID, that have been benefiting from COVID, more than 75% of them, even though they beat their earnings reports, they've been selling off to the downside. So be super careful. This could potentially happen to JMIA stock at the same time too. So definitely keep an eye on it. And we also have ticker symbol BNTX. It is also a company that's working to find solution for the pandemic right now. So today significantly gapped up 13.91%. And they're announcing their reports. They're announcing their earnings reports tomorrow. So definitely keep an eye on it. And usually when these companies, when they gap up, they sell off significantly to the downside. So depending upon what they say for their earnings reports, it really does not move that much on earnings. But we'll see if they say something positive that can significantly affect the stock price in the short term. So now let's talk about, Plug was trading higher today, up like 15%. That was exact expected move for their earnings reports, and it even went above that. And of course, unfortunately, it sold off to the downside, just like the other companies right before the market closed. So we'll see if this company have a continuation move to the upside. They've been performing very, very well. I remember this stock when I made a video about this company. It was trading approximately around like $8 and a $7 area, but right now, as you can see, it doubled significantly. So it's really great to see that it broke out, made a new 52-week high. So definitely keep an eye on it. And now let's talk about the major economic reports that we need to be watching out for tomorrow. At 6 a.m., we got the NFIB Small Business Index. It's going to be for the period of October. The previous was 104. And at 10 a.m., we got the job openings. It's going to be for the period of September. The previous was 6.5 million. So definitely keep an eye out for the job opening numbers. They can significantly have an impact on the stock market. And we'll see if we can have a continuation move to the upside or to the downside for the overall stock market. So make sure you follow and make sure you manage your risk significantly, because the stock market is really moving significantly a lot. So make sure you manage your risk. And if you have any questions, any comments, make sure to drop in the comment section below. If you want to sign up for Webull, join the Discord chat or join the Patreon page. Links available in the description box. But I catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Let's get it. Have a wonderful day.